Alright, I got something here, a little bit of a life hack, I guess you can say. Just wondering if anybody else has thought of this, or is this just a me fancy kind of thing. Hydraulic lift carts. They take things and they lift them up in the air. And I seen the hydraulic lift cart, which I'm currently kind of sitting on. And I guess that you can check that box as far as another use for it. But I'm wondering if these things could be multi-purpose. Well, I know they are for me, but I'm just wondering if anybody else has looked at a hydraulic lift cart, especially somebody that's got, a small shop, and is thinking, well, okay, this is a three-dimensional, 360-degree kind of all-around thing. Multi-use product. Let's take a look here. Which I already got something on. This is a hydraulic lift cart with one of the little mods that I did. Now, what I got on top of here is just, obviously what it is. It's a little frame, and I'll talk about it a little bit later in its construction. But this is something I made. This is a work table that it's sacrificial. You spill crap on it. You cut it. You slightly burn it with some things. It's no big deal. And some folks are thinking, yeah, I'm probably putting this thing on here just to protect my precious tool. No, I can give less of a hell about that. This is like if you're doing woodworking and you don't want to cut into your table or, damage your saw. You got your precious saw over there and you don't want to just run it into a piece of steel. Well, when I looked at this thing, when I seen it, yes, I can use it to lift things off the back of a truck, lower it down, just make material handling a lot easier and a lot safer for you. But that's not the full reason why I got it. That's just one of the reasons. I wanted a table that I can use if I wanted to sit close to the ground. I want to sit on this creeper, this little butt creeper here, and work on something I can work on. If I want to stand up, hell, they got office desks that do these things. They lay down all the way. They go down all the way, and then they raise up. It keeps you from being fatigued. Same rules apply here. And that's what I'm talking about here. So I got two things that I made to do this, to make this thing work for me. And this is one of them. This is like for woodworking or working on the guns or whatever. Then I made this one here. This is for things like welding. If I want to swap barrels out on guns or something like that. Heavier work, that kind of thing. Hot work also. But this particular hydraulic cart is a 750 lift capacity. Let's get to, here we go. Obviously, the Great Lakes Brewing Company's Christmas Ale doesn't exceed that limit. But this thing will lift about, it would lift eye level for me. And so here we are at full lift. And yes, this thing is eye level. It's fairly stable. Casters are lockable, obviously. But this is what we're talking about. So anything in between almost ground level, and with this little thing on top of it, I can't lower it down all the way, but it's fine for, it lowers far enough for whatever I need to get done. Right now I just have C-clamps securing it on to the bottom here, so you can see what we got. But anything obviously between eye level and all the way to the ground. So you got all these all this height to work in for whatever, and also it makes a fairly decent and stable platform if you need to get up and reach things. But I'll get into a little bit more, and I want to hear everybody's thoughts on this and see if this is something that maybe you think would be a good idea for yourself, or it's completely stupid. So this is the arrangement that we have here. As far as this turns the table into a few different things here. Obviously, you can do some welding here. Me personally install barrels on rifles. The thing that, I never hear anybody talk about this, and again, I've said this probably before, but I don't know why people don't use these more often, especially in your smaller shops like this one here. You got to be able to move around. You got to be able to store things up. Having something like this is a table, a work table that you can take anywhere in the shop you want to. I mean, and it's truly dimensional, fully dimensional, because you can raise and lower if you want to sit down and work. You want to stand up and work. You got that advantage. And well, this thing's got a 750-pound capacity. You're not going to be very limited on that. Another table insert, also for woodworking. This metal arrangement here, and it's just some scrap metal I had laying around. Didn't want to run a metal sheet all the way to full entire length of this thing because of weight. I want to be able to pop this off, and I'm going to figure out a better way of securing that in the future, but these little C-clamps will work. This thing's still manageable. I can pop it off, put it over to the side, and if I have to lift something up that's coming off a truck or whatever, I can have it for its originally intended purpose. But for me, this thing having a mobile bench that can raise, lower, and move anywhere I need to is exactly what I want. Okay, so here's what I would refer to as the general purpose tabletop. I laid 2x4s on their side that would create enough standoff. Say if you're cutting with your saw, you get your blade adjustment wrong, and you start to cut into this, you're not going to eventually cut into the metal tabletop here. It's great. You can use this for an outfeed table. You can use, like I said, it's just a general work table. You can wheel around anywhere you want to within your shop. It does raise up and down, obviously. So this is a pretty good deal here. Great for woodworking, great for just whatever. Cleaning guns, whatever you want to do. But this is it. You want to sit down and work? Sit down with your little creeper thing. Sit down. You want to stand up? Stand up. But this is just something that I didn't see anybody doing. Not to say that I'm some kind of innovator or anything, but just curious about that. And I'm just wondering what everybody else's thoughts would be on it, the shortcomings or the positive things on having something like this. These carts, they're not really cheap, but they are very well engineered. They're overly engineered. They're made to handle quite a bit of weight. I'd say you get a lifelong service out of it. I'm just curious what people would have to say, what their thoughts are on this particular concept. It's just these carts, I feel, they're multi-use. They're not just to lift crap up and move it about. They can serve a dual purpose or more.